Hello and welcome to this new video from me. Today we will play against Frederik Høj Nielsen, and I'm really looking forward to that match because I am currently 0-3 against him. He's the best Danish player, like out there. He is the best Danish player we've ever had. He has really good results. Every time he plays the Victory Road tournament, he performs incredibly well. He had a top 4 finish. He won a Victory Road tournament. He has like 6 regional top cuts. I think he also won a global challenge, or did his brother win and he got second? I'm not entirely sure, but that is also insane. He has a brother, and his brother is also really good. Against his brother, I was able to win an World's Top 8 2023, but against Frederik, I always lost. I lost against him twice in Victory Road tournaments, and I lost against him in Stockholm, which is funny because Stockholm is this weekend, but in round 1 I paired against Frederik and I lost. It was such a quick set. He demolished me. It was not fun, at least for me, and the interesting part is that both Høj brothers are always playing like Ursaluna Blood Moon, and in Regulation G at least Miraidon, and it's always something like a hybrid Tornadus, Blood Moon, Miraidon, and they often have Ogapon and Urshifu as well. Like their teams are really similar across all regulations, and that's why I think he's going to load something differently today, because he has nothing to lose. It's not like we are playing in a big tournament, it's just a friendly, right? So I expect him to use something different, and that's why I will use this Miraidon team. It looks familiar, right? I decided to use the team that was originally built by Arubega, then was adjusted by Jen. I'm not entirely sure what the pronunciation is. I always say Zine, but people told me it's wrong. I will still say Zine. Shohei Kimura, you know, me and Shohei Kimura had some really good games in very late stages of tournaments like Worlds 2023 finals, LAAC top 32 top cut, right? But he adjusted the team for EUAC, and he had an 11-1 EUAC one. And now in the last Victory Road tournament, Arubega got first with these 6, and Zine got second with the exact same 6. So I really wanted to try Miraidon. I'm a really bad Miraidon player, so let's see how it goes. But let's talk about the team. First, Miraidon. Miraidon, classic set, I would say. Choice Bakes Terra Fairy is just the most consistent set out there, but the magic is in the spread. As you can see, we are running a max HP Miraidon. Max HP Miraidon is phenomenal because suddenly you survive moves from Choice Scarf Landorus, you survive a Glacial Lance from 116 Adamant Ice Rider, you survive Dazzling Gleam Beta from opposing Miraidon, you survive so much stuff with max HP Miraidon. It's incredible. You obviously sacrifice a little bit of power as well as speed. As you can see, I'm running 169 speed. As far as I know, Zine has something like 158 or something, but I really wanted to be faster than Timid Shiyu as well as Timid Landorus. I think it's really important to outspeed those, and that's why I settled on 169 as speed stat, and then I put the remaining stats into special attack so that we hit a 190 special attack. And this Miraidon hits hard, is still decently fast, and it is incredibly bulky. Like, this Miraidon can do everything, and it is paired with some really nice Pokemon that it can be adjusted for certain matchups. Like this Urshifu, for example. During Worlds, we saw Focus Sash Urshifu Miraidon teams. Now we saw more of a Mystic Water Urshifu. Some people are running U-Turn on the Taunt slot. I am running Taunt. Taunt really helps to shut down Amoonguss. Also really helps to not let Dracoon get set up by something like Ice Rider. And Mystic Water, Terra Water is just so absurd damage. And that pairs very well with Miraidon, because Miraidon struggles against ground types, and this Urshifu just farms Landorus, and also like Groudon is a little tougher to farm, but it's still decent into Groudon. With 188 Adamant, we are able to one-hit KO Ogerpon Cornerstone, and also Smeargle, max first death, and that's why I'm also running 140 speed, because I wanted to outspeed Smeargle no matter what, because otherwise Smeargle could be annoying. That way you can do something like Ogerpon Urshifu lead, Searching Strikes with Smeargle, and Terrafire Ivy Catch with the other sword, because, spoiler, our Ogerpon is slower than this Urshifu. I decided to run 116 speed F. Why? The reason for that is that I thought maybe taking an Astral Barrage is nice, but mainly it's for Landorus I, because that way we survive a 116 modest Earth Power as well as 252 timid Earth Power from Life Orb Landorus, which is important because Landorus, otherwise, as you can see, we have 2 ground weaknesses. We have 1 resist, and Whimsicott is a fake resist because Whimsicott is not super bulky and it also dies to Sludge Bomb. And that's why I thought it's important to survive that as well. The Spadef investment also pairs really nicely with Light Screen on Whimsicott, and that's why I decided to run this kind of spread. Next up, we've got Ogerpon, and that Ogerpon is also weird. What does this Ogerpon do? We one-hit KO every common Shadow Rider with a Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel crit. You might say, wait, +1 crit always KOs it, no matter how much attack you play, but a lot of Shadow Rider teams have Incineroar. So let's say we drop to -6. Okay, that is a bit much, but like it doesn't matter if we are -3, -1, ±0, because we have Focus Energy, and if we click Focus Energy, since Ivy Cudgel is a high crit move, we have a 100% chance to crit Ivy Cudgel. And I said Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel because with the Terra you get an additional boost, right? And like a -1 or -2 or whatever crit Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel, one-hit KOs Shadow Rider, and I really liked that. And that's why we are running 44 Adamant. We also KO a lot of Rillaboom that way with non-Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel, which is another Pokemon that both Miraidon and Urshifu struggle against. With the bulk, we are able to survive a +2 max special attack, spell tech, Astral Barrage behind Light Screen, as well as like 116 special attack, which is pretty common, I would say. 116, you see it most often. 116 special attack, Life Orb, boosted Astral Barrage behind Light Screen, +2, okay? A lot of modifiers, but we survive that. We have 20 speed to outspeed max attack, max speed Adamant Dragonite, as well as maybe some other Ogerpon or Urshifu. With the defense, we survive Icy Crash into Sucker Punch from Chiampao, because Chiampao obviously is also an annoying Pokemon, because we've got Miraidon, Whimsicott, Farigiraf, all not great, and Ogerpon is supposed to help with that. We also survive a sort of Worm Body Press, as well as Terra, Water, Mystic Water Searching Strikes from Urshifu, as well as Rain boosted Searching Strikes from Urshifu, maybe Choice Scarf with Terra Ghost, click Searching Strikes, we survive that. A lot of stuff that this spread does. I'm really proud of this exact spread, really recommend it. Next up, we've got Iron Hands, and Iron Hands is weird because usually you see min speed Iron Hands because you want to create the speed sandwich against Ice Rider. But I think with Mystic Water Taunt Urshifu, First Death Ogerpon, Electric Seed Farigiraf, Max HP Miraidon, the Candy Ice matchup is good even if Trick Room goes up. And that's why I decided to go for something different. I decided to run a little bit of speed to maybe catch some Pokemon off guard and Tyrant, because usually Iron Hands does not outspeed something like Adamant Urshifu, Modest Chiyu, Timid Kyogre, Jolly Groudon, all these Pokemon. We outspeed them in Tyrant, which can catch our opponent off guard, and we have a nice 200 attack stat, which pairs really nicely with Quark Drive. We have a bump, which is at 156 Adamant, and we still have a lot of special defense bulk to survive stuff better. We saw different Terra types on Iron Hands. Some players played grass, some played bug, some played poison. We also saw fire. I decided to run Terra Water because I really liked to resist fire as well as resisting water against stuff like Kyogre, Urshifu Rapid Strike. Terra Water can come in clutch, also helps against Charm Power again, and I think Terra Water is just the most consistent Terra on Iron Hands. You can obviously run different Terra types, but I'm really, really happy with Terra Water. And yeah, that's it about Hands. Also a little special, I would say, just because of the speed stat. Next up, we've got Whimsicott. This Whimsicott is just faster than Kyogre, and it has a lot of special defense because with Light Screen, you want to stay longer on the field against Shadow Rider, against Terrapagos, mainly against Terrapagos, as well because you have Anchor to Anchor lock the Terrapagos into Call Mind or Substitute. Just be careful against for example, Screamtail, Heatran team. They have both Parting Shot and U-Turn, and if they get the free switch into Ogerpon Cornerstone, they can redirect your Anchor. So that's just something to keep in mind, but even if they redirect one Anchor, if you set up Light Screen, you don't have to worry as much anymore about the damage output from the Terrapagos, and maybe you can Anchor it later on. Outspeeding Kyogre, I think it's obvious because we might just get a Tailwind off, the opponent goes for Tailwind, and maybe the Kyogre gets a Moonblast range. The Whimsicott damage output is really bad. 97 special attack is not a lot, but you can also get a special attack drop. 30% is also a lot. So Terra Dark to be immune to Prankstar, Anchor, and Taunt, as well as resisting Astral Barrage. Pretty obvious. And then this Farigiraf set, I'm also proud of that one because 116 Adamant Calyrex Ice does not 2-hit KO with Farigiraf. If Electric Seed is consumed, it does not 3-hit KO with Farigiraf. We also survive a Specs Dark Pulse from Shadow Rider. This is where 132 Spadef can come in really nicely because we also survive a +2 Life Orb Helping Hand boosted Psychic, as well as a +4 Psychic. If Shadow Rider somehow gets 2 nasty plots off, I don't know how, but it might happen, our Farigiraf still survives that. We still have enough HP to survive a Final Gambit from Annihilate, and I'm playing 20 speed instead of 12 because with 12 it is enough to outspeed Urshifu once you set up Tailwind, but to speed creep both Farigiraf, I played 20 speed. Really, really good spread, I think. I'm using Electric Seed, Terra Fire. Electric Seed is obvious, I think. Terra Fire, I have Terra Water Hands, I have Terra Water Urshifu. It's not a bad type per se, but I think Terra Fire can also come in clutch in the mirror maybe to just resist Dazzling Gleam. And maybe if you play against Shadow Rider and Shadow Rider goes to +6, you can still maybe set up a Trick Room if you by resisting Draining Kiss from Shadow Rider. There's also this Giga Drain Shadow Rider team where your Farigiraf just gets used as a heal button. They go +2 and then they just Giga Drain your Farigiraf. You also resist that with Terra Fire, and you still have a resistance to Glacial Lance from Ice Rider. And that's why I think Terra Fire is a good choice. So as you can see, I made some changes. I think it's an original, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I would say let's go into the game and let's see if I can win with Miraidon. My worst 2 low kills in the last season were with Miraidon. I never touched it since. So let's see if I can overcome my fear. I also had a ranked session with Miraidon which went really terrible. So now or never, I would say. So yeah, let's see if mashing together all the best pieces is the smartest thing. And he just okay. I brought a bad team into Sneasel. I know that Sneasel is very good in the mirror. I thought maybe he tries something else. I could have counter-teamed him, right? Maybe I should have done that just for my record, but now we have to deal with Sneasel. Our matchup is dog, I think, because he also got Tailwind, Terra Water, Cover Cloak, Torn. You can find the paste in the description below. As always, we are both Terra Fire Farigiraf. His Miraidon is probably faster than mine. So what do I lead with? What does he lead with? I think I can still just lead Miraidon, Ogapon. I bring Farigiraf in the back so that I can do something like switch Ogapon, go for Electro Drift against the Sneasel, or I switch Miraidon and Ivy Cudgel, Terrafire Ivy Cudgel. And then usually Hands is good in the mirror. Whimsicott is also not bad, but I will try it with Hands because the Fake Out support is good, and also it's AV Hands. It's not bad into Miraidon, it's not bad into Ursaluna. So let's see how this goes. If I would have used a full counter team, I think it would have been with some Shadow Rider comp. Miraidon and Sneasel, yeah. I don't like this. Honestly, I don't like this. Oh my god. Yeah, that is not good. That lead was so obvious. Why did I decide to lead with this again? Should have led with something like... Yeah, I should have led with... My Miraidon is slower than the Hands and Tailwind, than the Sneasel and Tailwind probably. Like, another option would have been click Tailwind, Spiky Shield, and then go for Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam, Ivy Cudgel, but it doesn't work since my Miraidon would still be slower than the Sneasel. Sneasel is so stupid, man. I will go for Terra Fairy, Electro Drift into Sneasel, and Ivy Cudgel into Sneasel. It's not unlikely that he just clicks Gunk Shot, Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam. He doesn't Terra Fairy, okay? It's not unlikely that he clicks Volt Switch as well. I was struggling to find the correct play. Okay, does he Volt Switch my Miraidon? He Dracos! Okay. I don't know why this worked. Maybe I could have clicked Volt Switch instead of Electro Drift. Because now he can just go to Hands and click Draco into Ogapon plus Wild Charge. But I could do something like Spiky Shield, switch to Farigiraf. If he goes to Hands. He could also go to Ursaluna. Okay, this is the Hands. The Hands. Do I want to set up Trick Room? Maybe? I got my own Hands, but his Hands is probably faster than Trick Room. I don't know how fast his Hands is, but I think it's rather safe to go for this, right? I could also follow me here, and when I go to Hands, I fake out his Hands, I Psychic it, next turn I can KO it with Low Kick. Yeah. Setting up Trick Room is not bad because then my Miraidon outspeeds his Miraidon, but I don't know how fast his Hands is. Did he bring Farigiraf in the back? Maybe I can also just low kick Psychic the Hands. Let's see what happens here. Probably just Draco Wild Charge is my guess. Draco. Yep. I know I could have clicked Spiky Shit, but I want to have this Hands Farigiraf board. Heavy Slam. Okay, that would have not done too much to my Miraidon and does even less to Farigiraf. So, this low kick into Psychic KO Hands. We are in electric terrain, so Psychic does like 35, and then low kick probably does 65, right? 57 to 67, so it might be a roll. But he doesn't have low kick. He could Draco my Farigiraf. I think he did not bring his own Farigiraf. I could also low kick with a Rhydon slot because he does not have a switch in there. But the problem is the hands. The problem is definitely the hands. So I will double up the hands with Psychic, low kick. I know I could fake out, but fake out Psychic is bad into a Tornado switch, is bad into an Ursaluna switch, is bad into Farigiraf switch. Like, if he switches hands and I go for fake out Psychic, it's just a terrible play. And since low kick Psychic can KO the hands, or maybe I force a Terror on the hands, I would be in a good position. Okay, he just stays with Miraidon. And we are faster with Farigiraf, so we are probably also faster with hands. Yep. And now he is trapped on the field with -4 Draco Meteor locked Miraidon. I'm not worried about it unless it crits my hands. Okay, it is Farigiraf actually. Yeah, I just win with my own Miraidon. I think he surrenders here. I don't have to worry about the Miraidon at all. I just low kick with Farigiraf. I don't click Drain Punch because he has Psychic Noise. I don't click Heavy Slam because Heavy Slam is really weak into Farigiraf. And I don't click Fake Out of obvious reasons. I could also switch my Farigiraf to Miraidon. But it's just not necessary, honestly. Do I click Helping Hand? He might double my hands. I just need a little bit of damage on the Farigiraf, so Psychic, low kick. I don't have to click Helping Hand, low kick, and he probably surrenders. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty obvious. Like, my hands just wins at that point. How fast is the Sneasel? Probably faster than my Miraidon. I should have made my Miraidon at least 173 speed, because then I have a very easy play of leading Ogre-Pon Whimsicott. Maybe he KOs my Whimsicott with Gunk Shot and Dracos my Ogre-Pon, but I could click Tail and Spiky Shield, and next turn I get Miraidon in, and then I can go for Terra Fairy Gleam. Ivy Catcher. Wait, does Terra Fairy Gleam one-hit Sneasler? I think I evade my own Sneasler back in the past with Miraidon. I tried the Hoy team. I tried to survive a Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam. Now, if I remember correctly, let me double check. Like, yeah, double check that. You can easily survive a Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam with Sneasler. So what should my game 2 plan be? It's just bad. Honestly, it's really, really bad. This I have some ideas, but most of them are just bad. What I can do, for example, but it sounds so bad, is lead Ogre-Pon Farigiraf, go for Terra Fire, follow me, Trick Room, so that I survive a double up of Gunk Shot and Draco, so that or Electro Drift, that it doesn't get, that Miraidon doesn't get the hit into Farigiraf. Then I can go into hands, but it's still not amazing because then he just clicks Terra Fairy with Miraidon. So my Mon choice was not bad, at least. I will try that. It is weird, and it is certainly not good, but maybe he tries a different lead. I don't think he tries a different lead, honestly. Man. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Ah, shit. here we go again. Maybe I survive a gunk shot because I have so much. I do not survive a gunk shot. Woo! We all have fun. I do not. What I can also do is that a good play? Since my hands outspeeds his hands, my idea was to click Terrafire Ivy Cudgel to KO the Sneasler. He clicks Gunk Shot into Ogapon. I survive that. And he Electro Drifts Farigua. Farigua dies, Sneasler dies. Ogapon takes a lot of damage. He goes to hands. He can fake out, but I can go to my own hands, so I can fake out as well. If he is locked into Electro Drift, he cannot touch Miraidon and hands. So maybe that is a play? Maybe he also just clicks Volt Switch and Farigua survives that. Do I need the Terra? I do not. Maybe on Miraidon, but I want to try that. I could have also just clicked Psychic, honestly, because the Sneaser's Terra Stellar, so it always dies. Imagine Terrafire Ivy Cudgel does not want to KO Sneasler now. It should. Yeah, he Gunk Shots and he Electro Drifts with Farigiraf. Yeah. Okay, so I at least know what he is doing. Does it help me? I don't know. I could have... Imagine I switched Farigiraf here into Miraidon. Would have been a good play, to be fair, because I knew that he was going to do that. Now, KO. Okay. He is locked into Electro Drift. Do I want to go Miraidon or do I want to go Hands? I think I go Miraidon first. Yeah, I want to go Miraidon first. He probably goes to Hands. Oh, wait. That is honestly good for me. Because I can just click Switch Gleam. He probably has Hands in the bag. Hands doesn't want to switch into the Gleam. I get damage on the Farigiraf. Switch Gleam seems so free. Unless Hands dies to help. He could double my Ogapon. But my Ogapon could also Spiky Sheet. He does not double my Ogapon. So switch to Hands. Gleam. It's non-Terra Fairy Gleam. Okay, he stays with Miraidon. So he probably Electro Drifts my Ogapon. So could have also clicked Spiky Shield. But now, let's see how much this does. We get the Quark Drive boost. Maybe he sets up Trick Room for us now. Okay. I mean, that is not bad. Oh, the last is Ursaluna. Interesting. That is still not bad. Because I would say Dazzling Gleam to a KO Ursaluna. Don't disappoint me, Miraidon. It does not. So the problem now is that... Do I go for Gleam Switch? No, he will always... I already know what his play is going to be. Wait, okay. If I know it, do I want to hard read it? But then he has Helping Hand, Terra Fairy Gleam. That is not an option. So his play is switch Miraidon to Farigiraf and click... Okay, I will low kick with Miraidon and Dazzling Gleam. He protects and tosses Farigiraf. He doesn't protect, okay, hold on. I'm faster! Oh, okay, but... Wait, Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam from his Miraidon just wins if he knocks out my hands here. Okay, he goes for Hyper Voice. Crit on Miraidon doesn't matter. I would say... I would say Miraidon dies to fake out. I mean, I have to try. Ogapon dies to Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam, Miraidon dies. Please, Electric Terrain, 2 more turns. Nice, that is the perfect amount. Because now I switch to Ogapon, I click Dazzling Gleam, and I hope that Fake Out knocks out the Miraidon. Would I think I would have survived the Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam if he targets my hands. I was like, why did he not Earth Power my hands? But I think if he Earth Powered my hands, yes, hands dies, but he dies to the life orb when I have Ogapon and Miraidon on the board, and I think Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam does not one-hit KO my max HP Miraidon. If he is modest, it still KOs, never mind. But if he is timid, it's a roll in my favor. So yeah, we see the Dazzling Gleam, and Ogapon would have survived. Oh. I mean, then my switch is even better, because now even if Fake Out doesn't KO, I win. But I would have said, after I saw the damage, that Fake Out would have KO'd for sure, especially with a Quark Drive boost. Maybe he doesn't surrender. I hope he doesn't, so that we can see if Fake Out would have KO'd. Don't surrender? Okay, we see it, and yeah, Fake Out would have done enough. And GG to Frederik. Was a very offensive game. In the beginning, I thought my matchup was terrible, but it was actually playable, to be honest. But yeah, GG to Frederik. Really strong Miraidon team, what should I say? But we can talk more about it in the outro, where we can also feature a very sick set from Frederik. As I said, he is the best Danish player, and that for a reason. And I finally beat him, 1-3 now against him. So yeah, GG's to Frederik. I am really happy that I was able to beat him once, because as you already heard, I was not able to do so in the past. And I got a pretty convincing win, even though my matchup was not good. I would still say that. I thought it was worse, to be fair, because when I first saw that Sneasler Miraidon team, they played it like ages ago. And my first thought was like, what does Sneasler do? And then I was like, yeah, Sneasler is really good in the mirror, because with Miraidon, you can force a Terra Fairy on the Miraidon, and then you can just one-hit KO them with Gunk Shot. You have the fastest Fake Out. You can outspeed Ogapon Half Flame in Tailwind. You can outspeed Urshifu in Tailwind. So Tailwind doesn't really help to outspeed the Sneasler, because it's probably just Adamant max speed, and with coaching support, you can also coach up your hands to also get going. So it's a really cool team concept, and it's really interesting because the Høj brothers are really the only persons, I think, or the only people that play this kind of team. And I think Frederik had decent success with it in EUAC as well. He finished 8-4, which is a really good result. I think he finished 5 places in front of me. Like, I got 90th and he got 85th. But yeah, the Sneasler Miraidon team is one of the better ones for sure. And yeah, I'm also happy that I was not just able to win against Frederik, because as I said, the record was not good against him. My personal Miraidon record was also terrible. And going from like the worst local into the second worst local, into the worst ladder experience I've had, into the second worst ladder experience I've had, all with Miraidon. I also tried Miraidon Dondozo on this channel before. That also went terrible. I lost 2-0. So it is really nice to see that I can also play Miraidon, at least somewhat. If it wasn't perfect, I understand it, but then you have to understand that nobody can master every single archetype. Which is your favorite archetype, and which team should I try out next in your opinion? Should it be a more offensive team like the one today, or should I try a setup team again? There are tons of different archetypes. I could also test another hard trick room team. There are so many archetypes, especially in Regulation G. We've got a ton of variety. So for those who were complaining that Regulation G has no variety, you were wrong. So you can just ask me in the comments below. And also, as always, let me know who my next opponent should be. Should it be maybe a world champ? Should it be someone from the Asian countries? You're free to tell me. I will see what I can do. And that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I will see you either on Monday for the next MPA video, or if you just watch where I played against series, I will see you next week. Bye bye.